Okay.
It doesn't look like you've added a ton there, but hopefully we can fix that today.
Okay.
And I just kind of wanted to take you through the process of building a sales lead list. And so I know you kind of gave me a few different things to target here.
Yep.
So to get started, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to our new little search bar.
Okay.
So I'll click on search. And this is now going to allow me to set up the search before we even go in.
I see.
So we know we want U.S. importers. And I'll come down here to advanced search to start adding more. So I know I want the last probably year of data. And is there a particular location you want to focus on today?
Let's say Shanghai to New York.
Perfect. So for that, we'll come down here into, we'll actually adjust those later. So we'll just hit search for now. And then once we get in, we'll start to be able to filter for those ports. Perfect. So on the left side here, you'll see this is where all those filters start to come up. So this is where we'll be able to choose those two ports, as well as choose the LCLs that you wanted to focus on. Perfect. So the first thing we'll come down and do is we'll come down here to choose the proper port of lading. So we want it to come from Shanghai. And then do you want it going to ports in New York, or do you want it going to companies in New York?
Companies in New York.
Okay, perfect. So for that, we are actually going to come back up here to advanced search then.
Okay.
And do you mean the city or the state?
Let's do the city to narrow it down. We don't want too many.
Perfect. So for that, then, we can come up here to all company fields, and we'll do consignee location.
Consignee location.
And this is actually going to sync Panjiva up with Google Maps.
I see.
So here we can start to type in New York, New York, and that's going to put a little pin right in it.
Right.
So if we want to make it super small, we might do just 10 kilometers, and so that's going to mean that we're seeing downtown Manhattan, maybe a little bit of Jersey City and Brooklyn, or we could make it a little bit bigger and grab the suburbs as well.
I see.
Are you okay with a little bit of the suburbs?
Yeah.
Great.
That's like 50,000,
So we'll
shouldn't
leave
it?
it there,
Yep.
and then we'll hit search one more time. Perfect. So now we have our official list. So we are seeing 72,000 shipments that have come to cities within 25 kilometers of New York, leaving from the port of Shanghai. And so now we can actually take this information and start to turn it into a lead list. So right now we're looking at 72,000 shipments, but if we want to focus on those companies that are just LCLs, that's going to be one more filter that we're going to add. That's going to be down here at the bottom.
I see.
So we'll say, only show me LCL shipments.
Yes. 17.
Looks like that's going to, again, adjust this down to about 17,000 shipments. And so the last step is to then take this information and organize it by those top importers. So once we do that, here we can see, Ralph Lauren, Nation Billin, International Inspirations, Republic, a lot of apparel companies are showing up for us.
Yes.
Now, from here we have a couple of different options. If you want to adjust this and say you only want to see companies that have brought in at least a certain number of shipments, so let's say on average 2 a month, so you want to make sure they have at least 24 shipments over the last 12 months.
That's cool.
We can adjust that as well. And so now we've pared this down to 167, which is still a rather long lead list, but at least something that's a little bit more manageable within a few days or a week. And so now we have a few different options, right? So we can come up save the search. That means it's going to save all of these filters so we can come back to it later.
Okay.
We might export the results, allowing us to get all 167 of these companies onto an Excel sheet, which we could then pass on to our sales team.
Right.
Or if we wanted to get this on a regular basis, we might set up an automatic report so that it actually sends us who these top importers of LCLs from Shanghai to New York City are on a monthly basis.
Good.
You can see this is adjustable, so we can do it on a monthly, quarterly, or annual basis.
Right.
Perfect.
Okay.
So that's kind of the briefest version of building a sales lead list. You'll also notice that we do have some employee contacts as well. So you would be able to go in and see if we can find a certain person that you want to speak with. Ashley, a logistics manager, might be a really great person to get in touch with. If you hit add here, you're then going to get Ashley's full name, phone number, and her email.
Wow.
And that's going to be something that you guys are going to be able to access from us. So this is coming from one of our data partners, and so you can see it's been recently updated. So we've marked it as recommended. And you guys have the ability to do that 3,000 times throughout the year. Once you hit 0, let us know. You guys would either be able to purchase them a la carte, or you guys can wait until you renew next year to get another batch of 3,000. But I can tell you, in the time I've been here, I haven't seen anybody run out. So you guys will probably be okay.
So every time you click it or send an email, that counts as one contact used. Is that how it works?
So anytime you download a particular name, right? So if I wanted Ashley, but then I decided I actually want both of these manager of operations as well. I want all 5 of these people. Each contact is going to tick this down 111. If I added all 5 of these, I would have everybody's name and phone number and email, and then I'd be at 2,995.
Got it.
Perfect. Well, great. So that's kind of in terms of this process, do you feel like that's something that you'd be able to replicate?
Yeah, I think this now I'm taking better notes this time, and I see I can also do variations. If I only want to go to port, then I just select Newark, New Jersey, and then it will change instead of based on customers, it will go based on port, right?
Exactly. And you'll see here under all summary reports, there's actually a bunch of different ways that you guys can splice this.
I see.
So even if you guys wanted to get a report and say, well, what I really want to know is who are the top freight forwarders working in this lane, you guys are then going to be able to break it down this way. So here's a mass right here. You can say JT Intel is also ranking high.
Charterlink. But again, these are consolidators. Whoever's using the SCAT code.
And so this is something that you guys could download, or even if you wanted to track it over time, you can see in the shipment analytics here, if you wanted to, you could even visualize this, add that to one of your dashboards. You could, just kind of have a stacked area graph here to track these top 5 over time, and download it, put it into a presentation if you wanted. So you have a few different options in terms of using this information.
How do we filter, because these will be the consolidator that actually handle these LCL shipment, and they will put it in their box. So basically, those are our peers. See the JNT, the Charterlink. If there is a forwarder that handle the shipment, and then this forwarder who happens not to be a consolidator, and then he turns around to give the shipment to a competitor of ours, is there a way to narrow down who that forwarder is so we can target them? Hey, instead of going to my competitor, come to me.
Interesting. I'm not quite sure where that would be tracked.
Right.
Would that be, because that would be the carrier in the bill of lading, correct?
It should, unless they use the consolidator SCAT code, because they go by SCAT code, right?
Yeah, so we do have carrier information here as well. If you wanted to get a breakdown by carrier scat, but I actually am not totally sure what process you guys would need to go through to get a better understanding of the differences between who the carriers were and who the NVOCCs were. I think my thought is because these are all LCLs that we're filtering for that. Likely, they're all going to be consolidators.
Right.
But I'm not totally sure.
Okay. Now let's switch gear. If I want to see who are the top consolidators, this is for my report. Sometimes China asks me, how do we stack up against our competitors? Let's say if I run a report first quarter of 2018 from all of China to all of US, the number of shipments and the consolidator rankings, how do I do that?
Yeah, sure. So for something like that, so we'll come here and we'll say we want it to come from China.
And then just take out New York and put in all of US, right?
Yep. So we'll come up to advanced search and we'll remove this. We'll search it again. We'll need to remove Shanghai from it, but actually that's my bad. Let's see. I'm not sure if that clears just that top bit or if that's going to clear everything. I think we're okay though. Okay, perfect. So we're going to add China one more time.
What's that under the bill type? You click on a simple button. What does simple mean?
So a simple bill is a subtype of a master bill. The only difference is rather than a pure master, which is going to give you the logistics companies that handled it, the simple bill will also give you information on the importer of record. And so the default is house and simple bills.
I see.
So that you're seeing who the actual people on record are. If you did want to adjust it, maybe you guys did just want to look at master and house bills. That is another option for you. But one thing you'll notice is that right now we're seeing very few master. We're not seeing a lot of master bills because they won't mark themselves as LCLs.
Right.
Really, only house bills are LCLs. So that's another part of what we're seeing here. Actually, here I need to adjust this because we wanted
last quarter.
One. Yep, last quarter. Let's see, did I forget anything? So right now we have last quarter. We're looking at goods coming from China. We removed everything else. I'm going to make sure the consigning country is the U.S., just in case we catch a few transshipments coming through. Looks like there are a few in here. There's the United States.
That the result?
So So up here we can now see. So these are the carriers, right? So here we can get Expeditors, Vanguard.
Vanguard number 2, AMS number 3.
Again, Charlie and Chipco. So this would be the carrier comparison, which again we can put through here to take a look at what those numbers were. But if you wanted to view the NVOCCs instead, and so basically it's as simple as choosing those different filters and then picking your reports. And so that's how you're going to be able to go and view it.
And let's make this export results. And Let's do this for real. Like send it to me every quarter.
Yeah, sure. So here we can go to automatic report. It'll send to you on a quarterly basis now.
Mm-hmm. Quarterly basis meaning what will be the time? Say it will the quarter ends in March 31st, and then it's gonna email me on April 1st.
Not quite. So as you can see here, the customs will make a few changes in the weeks after. So we wait until the 15th. So at the end of June 30th, you can expect to get it around July 15th.
Got it.
So about a 2-week wait.
All right. Oh yeah, it says right here. Okay. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Perfect. Well, awesome. Is there anything else that I can answer for you today?
Do one more.
Let's do. Let's do. If I want to do a shaman to LA, let me do it myself. If I want to do it myself, I would first go to reset filter, right?
Yep.
Go to reset filter.
We'll start from square one.
Okay, reset filter. And then right now it has simple house bill, and then all the way to the bottom we got LCL. So now we go to shipment origin, right?
So did you want me to make LCLs yes again?
Yes, LCL yes.
Okay, perfect. Let's come here. Now, one thing I would actually suggest. So right now we're having the system filter through 111 million shipments.
Yeah.
I normally adjust the date range first because that's just going to save you a little bit of time.
Right.
What date range are you looking at?
Let's say first quarter.
Right.
And then what will be last
so we'll look
quarter.
at last quarter again.
Okay.
Right.
And then we go to
scroll down and put that LCL on.
LCL. Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So what are we doing next?
We go to origin. I want to search for a particular origin in China. Xiamen, which is the port, not the where the shipper location is. Let's say port of lading.
That's a port of lading name.
I see. You go show
And
more.
is this Shaolin with an S or with like an X?
With an X. XIA.
Right here.
Yep. Xiamen port.
Perfect. How do you pronounce it?
Xiamen. Yep.
Xiamen. I've been saying Xiamen. Okay,
Yep.
well, that's good to know.
It literally means Summer's Gate. it means Summer's Gate in Chinese.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's a
Cool.
port city.
Is it
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Air quality is a relatively good air quality city still left in China.
one of the few holdouts.
Yeah. And then let's do coming to Los Angeles. So we will check that first one, right? Los Angeles, California.
Yeah. And do you want Long Beach as well? Some people consider them to be very similar.
Yes. Now, okay, so here again, this section, port of unlading, that's where the shipment is coming to, but not necessarily where the consignee is located. And then the top section, the shipment destination, that's where the consignee is located, right?
Yep. So here we can come to consignee location. Type in Los Angeles. And so now, do you want just that little square, or do you want to make it larger and grab
That's
all
perfect.
the way out to
That's
Irvine?
perfect. That's perfect. Yeah.
How big do you want it to be?
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay.
So we'll hit search.